Welcome to meeting number 196 of Turning Point Toastmasters. I am Nikita, your Sergeant at Arms for today. At Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. You are now inside the code of conduct of Toastmasters meeting. Please be advised that the meeting is being recorded and it may not be possible to pause the meeting. Please also be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of this meeting will result to removal from this group without any warning. Please ensure that all your noise making devices are either switched off or on silent mode. You have 5 seconds to check that. Please speak responsibly on religion, sex, and politics in your speeches. As far as possible, please keep your videos on, applause flowing throughout, and your audios off. Be the kind of audience for others that you would like to have for yourself. Toastmaster of the day, table topic master, and general evaluator, please ensure a smart audio and video check before handing over to any role players. Role players, please rename yourself prefix with the role that you're playing and suffix with any external club that you belong to. We encourage you to use the Zoom emoticons generously to encourage our role players. We sincerely request you not to indulge in any chat messages, especially when a speaker is on the floor while speaking. Reiterating, please stay on mute until specifically asked. Polls will be launched after each section and they will be closed shortly after. Now, I'd like to introduce the presiding officer of our club, who is a software engineer by profession. He loves to ride, play, and travel. Words that he live by are live the way you want to. Please welcome Unique Noria.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikita, for the generous welcome and for that high energy start to the meeting. So, good evening, folks. Welcome to yet another meeting of Turning Point Toastmasters. So, we are very close to our 200 meeting, and we are very excited about that. But before that, today we have again an exciting meeting lined up for you. But before that, let's start with one of the most important components of every meeting. Let's have a look at all the guests who have joined us today. So just to notify here, I will just list the names of the guests who have joined us today. Your introduction and your feedback will be taken at end of the meeting in the feedback section. Also, we save this time in order to have more time for you in table topics. So let's see who will have joined us today. We have Gaurav joining us. We also have Sandeep joining us. Uh, Anisha Gupta has joined us today. Also, we have Parmita Day, Rashmi Sikri, Rahul Arora, Shubhranjali has also joined us, and Sandeep Singh has also joined us. I hope I've covered everyone, but we will definitely try to reach to you in the table topics as well as our feedbacks section. So let's begin with the meeting today. First of all, I have a few very important announcements to make today. So first of all, our club members have been doing a lot of have been creating a lot of buzz lately. So I would like to start with the few accomplishments that our members have uh, gained. So I will share my screen. So first of all, and we would like to have a huge round of applause because, as you can see, Toastmaster Rupinder has won the Division M evaluation contest. He was representing Turning Point Toastmasters, and he won the evaluation contest for that. Also, representing a separate club, he won the international speech contest in that Division M. So, congratulations to you, Rupinder, and a huge round of applause for him. Next on. Just a minute.
Try not to share anything because your bandwidth is low, so we might not hear or see you.
Okay, just a minute. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yay! Yes.
So yeah, huge round of applause. So Toastmaster Soumya Agarwal were representing us in the international speech contest at division level, and we are very proud that that she secured second position in the uh, division as well. So this is she has grown leaps and bounds in the last few months, and this is kudos to her willingness to participate and give her best. So a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Soumya. So after the winners, we also have club members contributing to the community. Toastmaster Haritika participated as a contest chair in a club contest. Also, Toastmaster Gayatri participated as a chief judge in a club contest. Also, the our in-house expert tech master Toastmaster Sumit has been supporting the community at various levels, performing his tech master roles. So, a huge round of applause for all three of these. Also, Toastmaster Abhishek from our club, Toastmaster Abhishek Kumar, has completed his level 2. So, kudos to you, Toastmaster Abhishek, and all the best for your further on your further path. So, having said that, with all those good news, we are not done yet. There are furthermore couple of good news which I have to give you. So, as all of you know, that Turning Point Toastmasters a few months ago took another initiative and started meeting on Sundays as well, and we coined the name Turning Point on Sundays. Well, that seed that our veteran Toastmasters from our club had sown is starting to flower now. So, I'm very happy to announce that we are very, very close to creating a all new club altogether from Turning Point on Sundays. So kudos to all of you who have been contributing a lot over the last few months in the growth of the Turning Point Sundays and taking it in such a position where we can say that it can now function as an independent club. Again, the details of how this is going to happen will be shared with you by our PR team in the time to come in the next few days. But kudos to all of you for supporting us, and we look forward to your further support, because as we are close to becoming an independent club, we will require more support from our club members, especially the experienced club members. So please be on cue and help us out there as well. So with that, I would like to request Toastmaster Haritika to please take a meeting selfie. And I would request, first of all, everyone to please switch on their cameras. So whosoever hasn't switched on their cameras, please switch on if possible. Sonali, Sandeep, Shubhranjali, Shaurya, Rahul, Parimita, please switch on your cameras if possible. And Toastmaster Haritika, please notify us when the selfie is done. Thank you, Toastmaster Haritika. So now, moving on with the meeting. So first of all, I would just like to briefly introduce what a Toastmaster is, because I observed that there are a few people who are joining us for the first time. So Toastmaster is an international organization. Toastmaster is an international organization which basically helps people to improve their leadership and communication skills. So how does it achieve so? So there are a lot of clubs associated with Toastmasters all across the world, and they help people to improve the public speaking skills as well as perform in club activities which improve their leadership skills. Ours is such a club. Turning Point Toastmaster is one such club affiliated to Toastmasters International. For further information, you can always get in touch with any of our club members, with me or our VP membership also, and we will explain you further. And now continuing with the meeting itself for today. Today I'm very excited because the Toastmaster of the day or the host of the meeting is someone I have always looked forward to attending a meeting whenever he takes this role. He's a very diligent Toastmaster and committed to his growth as well as the growth of this club. He's our immediate past president, and the Turning Point on Sundays, which I just mentioned, is about to become a club. He has a huge role to play in that. So, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome on stage our immediate past president and Toastmaster of the day, Nimit Mittal.
The history of Delhi is a story of reigning emperors developing and destroying the city from beginning of time. It's also a story of that Sufi hermit whose enchanting glow kindles the dargahs even today. It's a story of Farsi tradesmen that left their craft and dialect here. And it's also a story of those English esquires who taught us their etiquettes and mannerisms. But it's also a story of food, taste of which could not be even looted by Nadir Shah, who left the city reeling by robbing it to the core in 1739. To take a bite of this history, my brother and I went on a food hopping trip across Delhi in 2018. We ventured into the narrowest of lanes and corners of the city to quench our appetite with the one of the most tastiest food in this world. Allow me to take you along and revisit those trails. But before that, let us see what's going to be served on a platter today. In today's Toastmasters meeting, we have three courses: the spicy, tangy, prepared speech section, where the prepared speakers for the day would be delivering their engaging speeches, leaving us hungry for more, just like the Indian delis, snacks, street snacks, and appetizers. Then you all would be served the main course of table topics section, where you all be satiated to the core as you would be brought to this virtual stage to speak on the given topic impromptu. And last, without which there can be no meal complete. And for that matter, no Toastmasters meeting can be complete, is the sweet and delightful evaluation section where everyone gets a chance to improve. To tell us more about it, we have the confectioner in chief, whose infectious smile is no less than a dessert itself. But her personal favorite is a hot brownie with chilled vanilla ice cream she relishes at the bistro in Kalkaji. Our general evaluator of the day, Haritika Ahuja.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I really love that hot brownie with vanilla, and I have that in bistro in Bhiwani, and I saw it in bistro in Kalkaji too, but I didn't have that. So for today, my role is to evaluate the meeting as a whole, and I am supported with my tag team, starting with my timer, who is Gayatri Deshmukh. May I request the tech master to please spotlight her as I explain her role? Toastmaster Gayatri Deshmukh will share a green card when uh, when the speaker has qualified the minimum time, and yellow card when the speaker should start wrapping up, and the red card when it is the time that you have qualified the maximum time, and you have 30 seconds grace period. For the table topic, she will share green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. For the prepared speeches section, she'll share a green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. For the evaluation section, she will share green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds and red card at 3 minutes, and she'll change her background, so speakers are requested to pin her. And then we have the R counter, Anant Katyani, who will note your R's and ums and the filler words. Then we have the grammarian for the day, Arunima Bindal, who is responsible to note all the good and the bad usages of grammar during the meeting. And I request her to share the word of the day.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. The word of the day for today is auspicious, which means conducive to success or favorable. I will be noticing the good usages and bad usages, and I want you all to use the word of the day, auspicious. And we will have a thumbs up whenever we use a word of the day. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, grammarian. I will evaluate. I have my speech evaluators too with me who will evaluate the speakers, and we will present our report towards the end of the session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator, and thanks to the innumerable invasions from across India and the world. The best of all cuisines and cultures can be found here. Delhi is famous for its spicy and fried snacks. The why? The water is because of the water of river Yamuna, which flows through the heart of the city. It was rendered unfit in the reign of Shah Jahan, and it was advised to compensate that by including a lot of spices in the diet. And to compensate for its side effects, you had to have a lot of butter. And this was the origin of the variety of tangy, spicy, oily fried snacks, which is popular across the globe. Chaats, golgappas, samosas, aloo tikki, papri chaat, kebabs, and one and only chole bhature. Well, friends, the preparation and the ingredients of these delicacies is their key to their popularity. Similar to that, we have our prepared speakers. You want to taste these delicacies? Well, we have these speakers who are ready with their prepared speeches with a lot of flavor and are ready to serve that to you. Our first speaker for the day is Toastmaster Anshuman. But before I call him on, let us introduce to you all his evaluator, Toastmaster Rajesh. He is a project manager in IT industry who is hailing from the east, living in the south, but one taste he still remembers very vividly is the taste of Delhi's chole bhature he had in February 2006. Can we have the evaluator Rajesh to tell us about the speech objectives?
Thank you, Nimit. The speaker Angsuman is going to present second project of level 4 in the path that is engaging humor. The title of the speech is, uh, the purpose of this speech is for the member to share some personal aspect of his experience maintaining a blog. Timer, please note the time of the speech is 2 to 3 minutes. Over to you, Modi, Nimit.
Toastmaster Anshuman knows the fun way around people. If you want to know what it takes and what it means to wear many hats in Toastmasters or in life, Toastmaster Anshuman is your go-to man. On a humorous path himself, he once reached Chandni Chowk and had soft, creamy, and chilled kulfi faluda, which has become his favorite ever since. So let us welcome our first speaker, Toastmaster Anshuman. Can we have a quick AV check, please?
Am I audible and visible?
Absolutely perfect. So Toastmaster Anshuman, journey to write again, journey to write again, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Peter Drucker, one of the famous business gurus, said a lot of things, but one of the major things he had said, and that was chapter of one of his prominent books, there are two ways to take input, which is listening in the form of hearing or just reading when we read books. So when you take input, it's through either reading or listening. And usually we have a predominant form of taking input. Another predominant form of output is either speaking or either writing. So either your preference is to speak or to write. Being a Toastmasters, I'm quite sure all of us are quite expressive in terms of speaking. And one of my inspirations always has been KRK, whose opinions on movies, when he expresses himself, he just goes gaga, has always been so inspirational for me, besides Rupinder, obviously. Another aspect of expression, which is writing in the form of blogging, has always been aspirational for me. I still remember that the first time I took to blogging was during college days. When I saw everyone around me writing, I thought, let me write myself. But as you can imagine, the journey was short-lived. I just wrote for a while about college experience, personal life stories, but my enthusiasm just died down. When I saw this project again to write my own blog, create my own blog, and express myself, that passion somehow, I started revisiting it. I took an entirely different approach to it. One of the biggest struggles when you start blogging, besides finding the right platform, in this case scenario, I took to WordPress, which is one of the better sites to create your own blog. So I went to WordPress, created my account, started to add posts. I just looked at my entire day. I thought to maintain continuity of blogging, I should start writing about something which I'm passionate about on a daily basis. Else it will die down again like my college days. So I started writing about table tennis and tennis, two of the activities I've resumed post-lockdown, and just focusing on how I'm improving my skill sets on day-to-day basis. What are the tips my coach gives me, how I observe myself and improve my skill sets, that is something I started writing about. Besides, there are so many avenues of improvement on day-to-day basis. Take, for example, Toastmasters. Every week when we come here to practice, we learn something new about ourselves. We get to know how our vocal variety, body language, content creation is working, and if it's flopping or is it working with the audience. So I figured out that the collective theme of learning new skill sets and improving in any area of life can be a continuity on a daily basis for me. So to begin with, I started writing a plain draft. I filled the plain draft with all the raw content that came into my mind, like free of spirit writing, if I can coin it that way. Then for individual posts, I started editing. I started editing my content to create the relevant paragraphs, make sure that it's relevant to the audience, do the grammar check, and push the publish button. And similarly, I started doing it on regular basis, creating a sustained blog. Over a period of time through this learning, I plan to make it sustainable for the long run and make sure that I continue this passion of writing besides the passion of speaking, which I've developed through Toastmasters for eternity. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Anshuman. So let us take 1 minute to sink in those flavors of his speech, and also, more importantly, write a feedback to him on one-to-one chat. Timer, please intimate me once the 1 minute is over.
One minute is over.
Thank you, timer. So moving on with the second speaker today, we have Toastmaster Surjit, and evaluating him is Toastmaster Nikita, the current Sergeant at Arms of the club who hails all the way from Nepal but had her best days in Delhi, relishing chole kulche right outside the Sri Ram College of Commerce North Campus with her friends. So let's hear it for Toastmaster Nikita.
Thank you so much, Nimit, for reminding me of the chole kulche that I'll probably never get to eat again. But anyway, Toastmaster Sujit is attempting his level 2 project 3 of persuasive influence. The purpose of this speech is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and for the member to share some aspects of a previous experience as a protege. Toastmaster Surjit also wants to be evaluated on his confidence and facial expressions. Timer, please note the purpose timing should be 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Surjit.
Thank you, evaluator Nikita. So the speaker Surjit is a very calm yet a deep personality who is sincere in his efforts to becoming a self-made success story. He is going to share the importance of a mentor. He loves chili momos and malai chap available throughout Delhi. So Toastmaster Surjit, can we have a AV check for you, please?
I am audible and visible.
Yes, Surjit, you are audible and visible. Thank you. So Toastmaster Surjit, mentor's role in success. Mentor's role in success. Toastmaster Surjit.
Look at this poor guy. Learn something from him. This everybody looking at me like this. This was the scene of my tuition class when I was in 11th grade. Our physics tuition teacher, Kohli sir, was saying these words to students who failed in the test that he just kept before the main exam. Though he was praising me for getting highest mark in that test, but I was feeling embarrassed because my impression was going wrong in front of all the students, especially girls. He was saying this because I was studying in the government higher secondary school. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good evening. The story that I just narrated is to tell you that Kohli sir was the person who ignited the fire in our mind to do something big in our life. He was really a good mentor and a teacher. He's for many students in our town. In my life, I met many people and learned many things from them. in Toastmaster, I have distinguished Toastmaster Anant as my mentor. I am very big fan of him in Toastmasters because his words always inspire me, and his sense of judging the things beforehand is very awesome. When I was attempting table topic master for first time, I have a discussion with him, he pointed something. Then he said, don't do this mistake on stage, otherwise GE will catch you in the evaluation. But I was attempting this for first time, so I made that mistake, and GE really highlighted that point. From that day, I really listened to him and apply all the feedback and suggestions and implement them very sincerely. Now, he is really a good mentor, guide, and a friend. Out of Toastmaster, I have a mentor, Ram sir. I joined his workshop in 2020 December, and this workshop was 100 hours workshop. And when in that workshop, he taught us everything, NLP and strategies to grow our business as a coach and a mentor. One day he assigned me a task. Actually, we have a batch of 120 people in that workshop, and he gave the task to everybody. We have to create the course and upload that on the Udemy. But next day, when he inquired about that, everybody was blank because nobody has idea how to start the course and how to upload that on Udemy. Ram sir understood what things stopping us. He dictated word by word, and we were only writing at that time. We created 10 scripts, including introduction and summary. Next day, when he also said that if you are not comfortable with the video recording, you can just record your audio and PPT, and from the PPT you can create a video. When next day he inquired about that, then only 4 people has completed that task. On that day, he got very angry. Then he used a therapy, which he called as a LUT therapy. You won't believe, next day, out of 20, 100 people, he got very happy. And he said, I have laid a foundation for you. Now you can move ahead easily. Now on Udemy, I have 4 courses and 5 courses are in pipeline. And on that courses, I have 1800 students. So in the end, I want to say that mentor is a person who not only guide us and direct our actions, but also enlighten us from the inside so that we can move ahead easily in our life. Sometimes he guides us with love, and sometimes he has to use the therapy which we can call as LUT therapy. When everything fails, then this therapy never fails. Now, I want to thank all the person from whom I get a learning, and especially Anant, Ram sir, and Nimit also. I had get a lot of learning from Nimit. So thank you, and now I hand over the stage to Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Surjit, for that wonderful speech. And let us take a minute once again to record feedbacks for him on one-to-one chat. Yes, we need to maintain silence as the timer says.
One minute is over.
Thank you, timer. So let's go ahead with our third speaker, Toastmaster Sonali. But before I bring her to the stage, we have her evaluator, Toastmaster Rupinder, a seasoned Toastmaster who has all the tricks and traits of leadership and communication up his sleeve. His love for Rajma Chawal is no secret, but he also revealed his love for samosas when he ate not one, but four yesterday on asking. Can we have you on the stage, Rupinder?
Nimit Mittal, if I ever gain my weight back, I know who to blame for it. But let's focus on Sonali today. Sonali today is going to deliver a speech from the project Know Your Sense of Humor. The purpose of the project is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and present a speech that includes humor. I know Sonali as a power pack, and I expect nothing less than a power pack full performance full of humor. I wish I could dance like that. Best of luck, Sonali, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, evaluator Rupinder. So let us welcome Toastmaster Sonali, who is a very animated and professional speaker whose riches of her facial expressions are popular across the district, just like her and her mother's common favorite golgappas around the country. She is here to speak about one such relationship, and her personal request to us all here is that while she is serving this beautiful dish, she wants to record the expressions as we eat those. So can we have our videos on? Thank you. I see many people switching on their videos. Thank you very much. Let us help and support the speaker, upcoming speaker. So Toastmaster Sonali, Miss and Mrs. Kathuria, Miss and Mrs. Kathuria, Toastmaster Sonali.
To all those people waiting to get an invitation for my marriage, calm down. That's not what I'm going to talk about today. But in a way, I'm going to talk about someone who keeps bringing up the topic of marriage with me a lot. I don't want to take her name. She lives in the same house as me. And trust me when I tell you this, I don't have a big house. So I'm 99% sure she's probably standing right outside my room, and 1% sure that she's probably a guest in this meeting. And I think that because I know the word marriage is her most favorite word and my least favorite word. You know those words that gives us chills and makes us turn our head around, such as bomb, COVID, 100 burpees, right? For my mom, it is the word marriage. And I usually expect a triple reaction whenever she says it. Even the scariest thing that has happened to this humankind, with the greatest pandemic of all times, the when will you marry, when will you settle down question, they haven't died. But there are a few new things that I have learned about the missus since the start of the lockdown. Good or bad, you guys tell me. So you remember during the beginning of this lockdown phase, there was a rage of people who played games online. There was this one game that everybody had in their phone. The one game, Ludo, right? The one game that became a game in the first place because it involved physically rolling of a die. And now we are doing this. So a lot of my family relatives used to talk on WhatsApp and explain how they are spending time with kids, and mostly everybody mentioned that they've been playing this. I actually used to call it the phase of, are you even in quarantine if you haven't played Ludo online? So giving into the social pressure, Mrs. decides that our family should also play. Okay, fine, fair. The only problem being, I am a single child. We are a family of three. How many players does the game require? Four. So the missus very conveniently decides to use two phones in the spirit of game. Now you can only imagine the fun with seeing a Generation X person trying to juggle with two phones and one finger and win the game. But hey, we finally were a part of the fad. And just like there are game rules in Ludo that are apparently different for everybody, the missus in the family mostly sets the house rules that are same for everybody. Mrs. decides how and where a thing should be kept in the house. For example, if you go to your kitchen or my kitchen or anybody's kitchen and open that round container that has biscuit images on it, you will find everything in there but biscuits. Now that's what I call an abnormally normal situation. Then we have Mrs. Kathuria on this side. So whenever I am finished with a bottle of shampoo or a hair serum, I can't just throw it out. No, not here, not anywhere. There is a place in my house where all the empty bottles go. And that's not the dustbin. My mom keeps a secret stash of used bottles somewhere in the house, hidden. Nobody knows where and why and what, but I keep seeing those bottles again and again doing the rounds. Unless one day I break it down, but then we fix it with a Fevikwik. And then I break it down again, then I get scolded first, and then we try to fix it with a Fevikwik again. And then I break it down again, and then maybe then we part our farewells. So anyway, this one day after washing my hair, I found a hair serum bottle around and I used it. Stupid of me to assume that a bottle that has serum on it will have serum in it. That was completely my fault. I should have known my house rules better. I ended up oiling my hair again after the hair wash. And then after that, I spent another 45 minutes trying to figure out which bottle has what. But that's a house rule that Mrs. never taught me. But there's one house rule that she did strongly believe in, what I can use when it comes to house furniture. So Mrs. always wanted to buy a good looking sofa for our hall. We waited to find the right one from the right place at a right price. Finally, she liked one, which is white in color. Great choice, very good, as long as you're allowed to use it. But house rules say nobody can sit on it except when there are guests. So, by show of hands, who had regular guests coming at home during this lockdown? Who had guests during this lockdown? Nobody. So, in addition to this, we bought a carpet and a bean bag that we, the family members, the owners of this house, we are allowed to sit on. Oh, you are a guest. Welcome. Sit on this beautiful white sofa that I've recently bought specially for you. Oh, you are my husband, with whom I've taken vows for 7 lives. And I have my child who I've given birth after keeping you in my womb for 9 months. You guys can take the carpet and the beanbag that I've recently bought for you. But I am just thankful that at least those are not white. Otherwise, our hall would have been just a place for me to stand and stare the colorful surrounding around me, I guess. Moreover, when the guests actually do come, no, I wasn't. Yeah, I was talking about some other misses. Yeah. No, of course, mom. I love you. I love your white sofa. Yeah, I will marry soon. We'll talk about this. Over to you, Toastmaster.
We definitely need 1 minute to calm our nerves after that, isn't it? So everyone is applauding and cheering. Yes, let us take a 1 minute of silence to record feedbacks for Sonali on one-to-one chat, of course. We will have the polls for the best speaker after this. So be ready to cast your votes for the best speaker. Techmaster, please be ready. They
1
are up
minute is
now.
over.
Yeah, so you can all vote for the best prepared speaker among Anshuman, Surjit, and Sonali. I've done my bit. You can do yours.
So the polls will close in next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Polls are closed.
I know the prepared speeches were indeed filling, just like the snacks, just like those relishing snacks we had before this. But hey, where are you going? We have barely come to our main course. In Delhi, you never know what to expect in the main course as there are a variety of dishes on the menu, be it butter chicken or tandoori chicken, shahi paneer or dal makhni, aloo paratha or chur chur naan. We have just spoiled for choices. The master chef, the table topics master, is going to present a buffet of such delectable topics to speak on. So get ready for the table topics master, who, in my opinion, among the galaxy of stars, is like a full moon who tends to outshine all on his day. His love for butter chicken is not a secret at all. And for him, the original Kareem's near Jama Masjid, Old Delhi, is the place to be. So let us welcome the table topics master, your master chef, Toastmaster Shaurya Chauhan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good evening. One of the most exciting portions of the Toastmasters meeting is the table topics session. The main objective is to challenge us to effectively think on our feet by impromptu speaking on a topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Table topics is specifically designed to develop 4 essential communication skills: listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking. But you know what? Let's keep it simple. It's essentially about speaking from the heart. We want every attendee to get an opportunity to express themselves here, especially the guests. So today, as your table topics master, I will be shooting topics at you related to our tasty theme of food and lifestyle. Let us all, whoever does not have their cameras on, let us all switch them on and have some real fun. Please volunteer by virtually raising your hand using the Zoom platform. And don't forget to use the word of the day, which is auspicious. So, to show you how the drill works, let me first invite a veteran Toastmaster. Who would like to go first?
Toastmaster Anisha Gupta has raised her hand. I'll make you the tech master so that you can see that.
No, let us start with the veteran Toastmaster so that everybody can see how the drill works.
Toastmaster Anisha is a veteran Toastmaster. You can start with her.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Anisha, if you could eat only one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? If you could eat only one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be, Toastmaster Anisha?
Golgappas is what I just had a few hours back. Golgappas is what I've been having all this life with my best friends, because every time we step out, we are strolling around the streets, we are looking for the most unhygienic place, because trust me, those serve the most amazing Golgappas. And up here in the Himachal, in the hills of Himachal, I randomly bumped into a Golgappa wala. But trust me, that is not what I want to have my entire life. My entire life, I would like to have what I had a few days back, and what I discovered is the vegan chicken burger. Yes, plant-based protein is the new thing. The in food, the chole bhature of Delhi is plant-based chicken burger. And my my non-vegetarian friends could actually say that, oh, it actually tastes like the KFC burger. The texture, the flavor, the stretchiness of the meat, which is not actually the meat, is what allured them. And me, who have just turned vegetarian, actually just not consuming meat for the time being, really loved it. So I think, if possible, if I could eat one meal, just one food item all through my life, it would be definitely based on some plant-based meat. Back to you, Toastmaster, table topic master Shaurya. Thank you.
Thank you, Anisha, and thank you for putting me in a dilemma. Now I have to figure out how to get to Himachal, but that's okay. Let's move on to the next topic. So, who wants to go next? I see
I'll
Sandeep.
go next.
Okay, let's go with Sandeep first, and then we'll come on to Victor. Sandeep, your
Yes,
favorite food in your childhood. Your favorite food in your childhood, Sandeep.
not obviously non-veg. My favorite food was chicken and fish. Because my parents told me the benefits of this. By eating fish, you can solve your memory. I know some of you Toastmaster who are sitting here may not consume, may not eat fish, but I would suggest everyone, at least you should try at least once in your life. Then you will realize that what the benefits of consuming and taking fish. So this was my favorite dish in my childhood, fish and chicken. Even in these days, I'm also eating the same. And I realized that there is no, like people say there are lots of disadvantage of red meat, but my personal opinion, there is no such. People usually think whatever they want, but I would suggest, yes, this is favorite dish, and everyone should try at least once. So this was my favorite dish in my childhood. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master Soria. Thank you.
That's great to hear. Chicken is also my favorite, my friend, but I was hoping that bird flu wouldn't be here. Well, what can we do? So then next we have Victor. Would you like to go now?
Sorry to interrupt, but bird flu has been over.
Victor, I think you are on mute.
I would like to know who pulled the dirty trick and muted my microphone. My microphone was not muted. Can you hear me okay now?
Tech Master, please investigate this. So, Victor, your topic for the day is the worst meal you ever had. The worst meal you ever had. Victor.
In an auspicious occasion like today, telling you the worst meal I've ever had might not be all that interesting. In fact, it might have been so bad that I've forgotten what it is. Mind you, on the subject of chicken, it's not just enough to like chicken. And it's very difficult to make bad chicken. But if you want to make good chicken, you just want to stop down to the Kentucky Fried Chicken. As far as I'm concerned, Kentucky Fried Chicken, they do chicken right. I am a little puzzled though, because they had these 11 herbs and spices that's a secret. And I don't know how come the secret hadn't gotten out, because I know they've fired lots of people from Kentucky Fried Chicken, but nobody still knows what the secret is. I hear that Kentucky Fried Chicken tastes the same way in India that it does in California. Perhaps I'll find that out one day. What I have found in my particular community, though, is there's this running competition between Kentucky Fried Chicken and Popeyes. I don't get it myself. Popeye, I only think of Popeye the Sailor Man, which has nothing to do with chicken, but many friends of mine, they embrace the idea that Popeye's chicken is as good as Kentucky Fried Chicken. Pish posh, hands down. I might not know, and I might not be able to articulate to you what the worst meal I've ever had was, but I can certainly tell you what the best chicken is that I've ever had. And if you've eaten chicken and you've not eaten Kentucky Fried Chicken, then Kentucky Fried Chicken needs to be the next thing on your list, because they do chicken right and they beat Popeyes, hands down. So as I said, this is an auspicious occasion, and I took the opportunity to enlighten those of you that are not into Kentucky Fried Chicken to get into Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken indeed, Victor. No, I don't know a single person who does not love that one chicken. So now moving on, who would like to go next? Okay, Gaurav. Gaurav, your topic is the best dish from your mom's kitchen. The best dish from your mom's kitchen. Toastmaster Gaurav.
Thank you. Best dish from my mom's kitchen. Being a Punjabi, I think most of the people would be having the same dish to be cherished from their mom's kitchen. Rajma chawal. I love when my mother cook rajma chawal for me. Still, I'm also in this lockdown. I have also learned cooking. I have cooked with my wife because we are staying in Gurgaon together. So, but I really miss rajma chawal made by my mom. So whenever I go back to home, I enjoy the rajma chawal as if I can eat them for life. Rajma chawal is one of the dish that you will find everywhere, but it will taste the best when it is cooked by your mom, and it is indeed very exciting when you get to eat this dish cooked by your mom. Apart from this, I love cooking other dishes like butter paneer chawal, or the other thing I know is just Maggie, how to make Maggie. So, but from my mom's kitchen, I will say the one dish I love the most is Rajma chawal. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topic Masters, Shaurya.
Rajma chawal. Yeah, that really is another one big favorite for everybody. Agreed totally. Now next, who do we have? Who wants to go next?
We have guest Jim. We have Jim who's here from Australia. Can ask.
Jim, would you like to go next?
Let me move location. Can somebody else go first? I'll go after.
Sure. So can we go with Shekhar? Shekhar, would you like to go next?
Yep, I can take this.
Okay, Shekhar, What would be your perfect dining experience? What would be your perfect dining experience, Shekhar?
With the word perfect, I have to have the perfect company first. Yes, indeed. When I say perfect, it has to have all the layers, be it the starters, be it the main course, or be it the dessert. It has to have the perfect layers. In terms of ambience, I would like a soothing music around with less number of people, which is actually the situation right now in most of the restaurants, and then with the perfect person. And for that, I would definitely prefer my spouse, married life. And then once it starts, I would want that somebody serves it with that patience and love. Because sometimes I really feel that if you've served good food with love, you tend to love it even more. The taste can be different, and the taste buds can also differ as per your experience. But if it is having the right ambience, the perfect lighting, everything in your control, the right person to enjoy the evening or the Sunday brunch, then I think it would be a blessing. This perfect word itself makes a lot of sense to me, that this thing can get complete when I have everything as planned. Be it the starters, as I mentioned, in terms of anything which I can have or order in that restaurant, and then the main course that I can enjoy to my appetite. And then, yes, the dessert. I would like to share that with my spouse, which I think should be as per her choice, as she has made a very good decision. You know me, right? And that's would be from my side. And this is the only dream I can think of in terms of perfect dining experience. Thank you, and back to you, Shaurya.
Thank you, Shekhar. And with the number of times that you mentioned your wife, I'm sure she would agree that would be the perfect dining experience. Next, okay, who do we have? Jim, would you like to go now?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Jim. Now let us mix it up a bit. I will now give you two choices, and you have to select one and describe why you've chosen it over the other one. Simple. So, Jim, homemade dinner with your mom or a beer party with your dad, what would you choose?
Definitely a homemade dinner with my mum. I have learned a long, long time ago, I have been conditioned not to drink anything. And the reason is quite strange. It's not what you would think. The focus was not the alcohol. The focus was to avoid cigarette smell and cigarette smoke. Because in all the places, in my place of work, after work, there's this habit of having drinks with the guys before you go off home. But every time, everywhere that you go for a drink, there must be cigarettes, there must be smoking. And that is one thing that really, really puts me off. So it's not that I hate that a lot more than I like my mother's cooking, because what always brings me home, no matter where I am, no matter what's going on in my life, is the smell of freshly baked bread. And my mother makes the best bread. She grows her own yeast. I've studied recently how to make curd, Indian curd, and how mothers use some leftover curd from the day before to produce the new batch. And in a similar way, that's how we grow our own yeast, our own leaven. And you produce something called a sourdough. It's a sourdough bread, allegedly the most healthy type of bread. And that smell of her baking that bread, that really, really takes me home no matter where I am. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Jim. And I would totally agree with you, because being an asthmatic, the smoke problem is also a big one for me. So, all right. So next, who wants to go next? Let's see.
We have
Madhav.
Geeta, we have Madhav, Geeta, Nasir, and Paramita and Rahul.
Okay. Madhav, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Madhav, your choice is between chai pe charcha, which is tea with your best friends, or a candlelit dinner with your loved one.
This really is a very confusing one for me because I don't know if you remember or not, but I have given a speech on Chai Pa Charcha in which I explained how much I love tea. And tea is something which brings energy, and I cannot work, I cannot study, I cannot do anything without tea. And I cannot even start my routine without tea. And on the other hand, I have loved ones to have candlelight dinner with them. I would probably betray tea and go with a dinner with loved ones because that doesn't happen very regularly. And I would like to give, like, just to explain how much I love tea, and just to explain how I, when I'm betraying tea, I am betraying literally my love. It happens many times that I am fed up, and I, if I, even if I try to sleep, I can't sleep. Even if I try to, do anything, I can't do anything. But ultimately, tea is something which gives me energy, which gives me a boost, and which help me in doing a lot of things. I am able to think properly. A lot of time I am stuck in offices or in office work, and I have to go for a tea break and then come back, and then my effectivity increases to another level. But if I am given a chance to go for tea, because I can have to go for tea, either for tea or a candlelight dinner with loved ones, I would surely go for candlelight dinner with loved ones, because that I don't get that often. Thank you. Over to you, Shorya.
Well, that is a questionable choice with the reaction of the people that I saw just now when you mentioned tea. But okay, I guess. So moving on to the next one. Next, would Rahul Arora want to go? Rahul, can you hear me? Would you like to go next?
I think he has left the meeting.
Okay, so then who would like to go now?
We have Parmita and Geeta also. Nasir is also raising his hand.
Okay, Geeta, are you ready for your topic?
Yeah.
Okay, Geeta, breakfast in bed or breakfast at a 5-star restaurant? Breakfast in bed or breakfast at a 5-star restaurant? Geeta.
Okay. Thank you so much for that lovely topic. Breakfast in bed, of course, is a luxury for somebody like us. We hardly get breakfast in the bed early in the morning. Being a teacher, getting up early in the morning, making breakfast for everybody, packing everyone's tiffin, and then rushing to the school, reaching school at 7:40 exact. Because if we don't reach at 7:40, then it becomes we get a red dot, and it's considered 3 red dots, 1 leave. So rushing early in the morning, that is the daily routine. Getting breakfast at least on Saturdays and Sundays is really a luxury. But if the option is given, of course, who will be as foolish as me to opt for breakfast in bed? I would certainly love a breakfast in 5-star restaurant. Anybody would do that. It's when you go, because that is very, very rare that we get a chance to have breakfast in a 5-star restaurant. So when we go, that's really relaxation, free, with a free mind, no job, nothing, don't think about the house, nothing. And then you enjoy the 5-star breakfast in the 5-star restaurant. It's really lovely. And that comes only at certain times, not always. And everybody, of course, loves that. That takes you away from all the morbidities of life for a certain time, for the certain period of life. That's why I would certainly go, and everybody, like I said, that's all from my side. Thank you. Over to you, Tabletop Master.
Well, with the number of times when I've seen my own mother complaining about making breakfast for me, she's also a teacher. I can certainly understand your choice here. So kudos to you for that. Next, who do we have? Next, would Paramita, would you like to go next?
Yes.
Okay, Paramita, 6 months of free gym membership or 6 months of free Netflix? What would you choose?
Really difficult choice. But as before lockdown, I'm just giving you a background. Like before lockdown, I have taken gym membership and I used to go to gym and I really reduced a lot. And that time I really feel better because it is not about look, but it was giving a healthy feeling from inside as well. But during lockdown everything was closed and gym also closed, and during that period I developed unhealthy eating habit, and I left gym. I started eating outside food and I gained a double. So over Netflix, now I feel that I should go for the gym membership. That will again help me to reach to my goal. So always, currently, as per current situation, I prefer to opt for the gym membership. Over to you, Shora. Shora.
Thank you, Paramita. I'm sure everybody also agrees with that choice, with the amount of weight. Okay, Rupinder sir does not agree. You would have to talk to him about that. But okay, let's move on. And next, who would like to go? Can we see
Come on, guys. This is our last topic for today.
Okay.
Is not taking any role. He can go if he wants.
Okay, Nasir. Nasir, would you like to go?
Yeah.
Okay, Nasir. Run for 15 minutes or walk for 50 minutes? Running for 15 minutes or walking for 50 minutes? What would you choose, Nasir?
I will choose walking for 50 minutes. uh, Running means since a long time I haven't run very regularly. So during lockdown, last year I have tried some days, but it was difficult because the continuity is must. We feel very tired after that, and by walking I can walk even 1 hour or 2 hours. So that is okay. So that is my choice. So in walking we can means if you want to means enjoy on the way, we can do that, but in running you need to focus on your running, and you cannot means have the sight fun. So in this case I will love to walk. uh, yeah, and I love to walk with my friends because we get a lot of miss knowledge. Now I'm missing my office days. In my office after lunch we daily used to walk approx 2-3 kilometers. So now I'm missing that part. I walk nowadays as well, but not that much. It feels that I am walking, but at that time in the group of 4 or 5 people it was a very easy, and means I mean we used to get a lot of other information as well. So yeah, definitely I would love to walk over running, and in means considering to my health as well, because I'm quite fit. So that is, running is not that much required right now for me. So yeah, I will choose walking. Thank you. Over to you, Shaurya.
Thank you, Nasir. And I agree, you are very fit. So I'm not sure if you would like to, if you would want to do any of those things, but your choice then, totally. Now, At the end of the session, let us now have the voting for the best table topic speaker. You will get your polls up in just a moment, and please vote for your favorite speaker.
Please cast your votes. The polls will close in next 5 seconds. The polls are over. Thank you.
All right. Wow. Now that was a delicious session. Now please excuse me. I have my own important choices to make on Zomato now. So over to you, Food Master. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Master Chef Shaurya, for those delectable topics, so auspicious to the theme today. Yes, I know we are so full to the neck by now, but it's not over yet. Just not yet, because our trip cannot be complete without going through the narrow lanes of Delhi, which house the most luscious sweets and desserts. Kulfi Faluda, jalebis, gulab jamun, lassi, and one of the seasoned speciality which you will probably not find anywhere in this world, Daulat ki chaat, which is made out of the froth of milk and cream on cold winter mornings. Just like after every meal, there is a scope of desserts. Similarly, after every performance, there is a scope of improvement. Well, friends, evaluations are like desserts because that is the taste at the end you take back home. So, the taste, those desserts, those sweet and delightful evaluations are going to come up to you by our general evaluator, the chief confectioner, Haritika Ahuja.
Yes. So thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I would first like to call the speech evaluators. Evaluator number 1 for the first speaker, Rajesh.
Angshuman, journey to write again. Seriously, means when I listen this topic, I was thinking that yes, how you complete, you started your writings from then to now. So in your topics, I got two things. One is how to start writings. Second, without means continuous it is not about without practice, it is very difficult. So what parameters you use to start writing and complete the good writers? So from the beginning when you start, it was engaged from the time you started to end. uh, it is not deep, means everything is possible. When you are starting, you started with, in the college times, you are struggling to write and you are making difficult to make a sentence. Then in these pandemic times, or the when you join the turning master, the Toastmaster club, then you started, means not only reading or listenings, you started another parameter that is called writings. So it is a very good topics or very good things you did in your life. Even now, I'm also searching that how I can write, how I can do all those things. Yeah. So one, but when you your topics, one thing I observe, maybe you can need to improve or some things that Suppose you can put that once wherever the blogs you are writing, those blogs you can, if you can share, or you can tell that once the audience to provide the feedback, then definitely it will be more catchy. So this is all about your feedback. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Now I would like to call the second evaluator, Toastmaster Nikita, to evaluate Toastmaster Sajid's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator Haritika. First of all, a big congratulations to Surjit for completing his level 2 of his pathways. Uh, a mentor role to success, Surjit. I'd like to say your whole speech from the very beginning was very captivating. You started with a story about your tuitions, and since then, I believe you grabbed everybody's attention. And then you went on with explaining how you had not one but many mentors throughout, like your teacher or Anant from this group, Nimit, for example, and Ram sir. You went with the flow of explaining how you took inspiration from each person and how they've impacted your life. You had enough points for each of them, each of the mentors that you mentioned, and you enlarged on those points, which were really spectacular. The stories that you said on how you were inspired with them and what made you feel that the things that you can resonate uh, gives extra point. The things where I think you could work upon was towards the ending, as I really liked the opening and the body of your speech, but to make it more great, I think you could work on the conclusion where I felt it was a little abrupt. You could probably speak perhaps more about how the learnings that you've gotten from your mentors, how you resonated them in your own life, and how that made a difference in your own life. If you could have ended with this note, it could probably tie up and summarize your whole speech in one. Overall, it was a great speech. I was in sheer enjoyment while listening to it throughout. You had an adequate gestures according to your speech. You had great eye contact. Your body language was also nice. You could perhaps work upon your facial expressions, which were a bit constant throughout. You had proper speech tones and variety, but it weren't going with your facial expressions. If you could work upon that, that would be great. Overall, it was great, and I really enjoyed listening to you. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you, Nikita. Now I would like to call Toastmaster Pinder sir for evaluating Toastmaster Sonali's speech.
Audience, I want you to turn on your videos, please. Sonali, I need to talk to your mother. Okay. I was more than willing to turn on the video because the title told me that this was going to be a laughter riot, and you did not disappoint us. Right from the beginning, it was one laughter episode after the other, and I had a very difficult time writing your evaluation because I was too busy laughing. Loved those gestures, the triple reaction. What? And then the use of words, scariest times in the greatest pandemic. Of particular note was the two phone story by your mother. I could totally relate to it because my mother and the smartphone are two sworn enemies. It is hilarious watching them fight with each other. In a speech that was so wonderful, that was so hilarious, I, for once, I do not have I do not have recommendations. I just have quick wins that you can use to perhaps enhance the speech even better. So the title of your speech was Miss and Mrs. And I saw that the misses was repeated so many times, it was almost hilarious. But maybe referring to yourself as the miss in the third person might enhance that speech. Then that episode with the bottles, that when the bottle broke, you tried to fix it with fevicol. When it broke a second time, you got yelled at, and you again tried to fix it. You fixed it with fevicol. But the third time, you straight away threw it into the bin. Instead, if you could have said, the third time the bottle broke, I still got yelled at even more. We tried to fix it with fevicol, but you know what? We decided that this is where it goes, and then kind of give it kind of a funeral, kind of a send off would have been probably the icing on the cake. The third recommendation I have, when you were talking about that husband for the next seven, you know, seven rebirths and carrying you around for 9 months, maybe include the maid, because if there is anything in the pandemic, the maid is always welcome in the house. So the maid is welcome to sit on the sofa. The maid is welcome to probably do anything. That would have made it even more hilarious. My last recommendation, Sonali, your ending was awesome, in which you were talking to your mother and breaking the fourth wall. Perfect ending. But I felt that all the points were not covered, and you still were at the yellow card. You had enough time to probably cover all the points, and that would have rounded off a perfect speech. uh, Coming back to the commendations, that things with the bottles is something that my dad does with sauce bottles. He'll actually keep on adding water to the sauce bottle until we run out of the last drop of sauce. And what an ending. To conclude, I have two things for you. Number one, next time there is a humor speech contest, I want to see you participating, because I know where this is going. And the second thing, last but not the least, I seriously need to talk to your mom, Sonali. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you for that engaging evaluation. Now I would like to call now I would like the tech master to please set the polls for the evaluators. And I would like to call my tag team, starting with the grammarian, Toastmaster Arunima Bindal.
Haritika, if you don't mind, we would want to cover you as well in case you're planning to deliver table topic evaluation first.
Okay, so I'll start with table topic evaluation and the evaluators evaluation. After that, I will call my tag team. Starting with the table topic master, he called the experienced Toastmasters to deliver the first table topic, and he, in meanwhile, he forgot to repeat the topic. Like he didn't follow the approach of name, topic, and name. Then for this first speaker, Anisha, the topic was only one meal, and she was bang on, and she said her love for golgappas, and which made my mouth also water. After that, the next speaker, Sandeep, his favorite food from childhood, and he explained his love from childhood. It would be good to hear for us if you if you would have explained the place where you had the best chicken. After that, Victor, whose topic was worst meal you ever had, and he was so enthusiastic that he didn't explain the worst meal but explained the best meal instead. Then we had Gaurav, whose topic was the best dish from your mom's kitchen, and like every other Punjabi kid, he also explained his love for rajma chawal, and also he told us about that he also has learned to make food in this COVID with his wife. Then we had Shekhar, whose topic was perfect dining experience, and he told us about his dining experience with his spouse, and he also told us that he also needs to have a perfect environment too for that. Then the next speaker was Jim, whose topic was homemade dinner with mom or peer party with dad, and he explained, and he chose dinner with mom, and also explained his problem due to that asthma, and it was a good take. Then next topic was for Madhav Chai Pe Charcha or Candlelight Dinner. Listening to his previous speech, I thought that he would choose Chai Pe Charcha, but instead he chose Candlelight Dinner with his loved one. And it was also a good take for the topic, and he betrayed tea for the loved ones. And obviously, loved ones are important. Then the next speaker was Geeta, whose topic was breakfast in bed or at a restaurant. And she explained her life, her busy life that she has to have at her office, her school. And she also told us that it is always a luxury to have a breakfast at the restaurant. Then we had Paramita D, whose topic was 6 months of gym on Netflix. Today I saw a drastic change in her speech, and she told us that she had taken a she took subscription of gym just before COVID, and now she needs it again. Then Nasir, whose topic was run for 15 minutes or walk for 50 minutes, and he chose walk for 15 minutes with his friends, office colleagues, and he told us that he always loved about his physique, and he doesn't need to walk. After that, the speech evaluators. For I have a common commendation for all the three speakers, all the three evaluators. You read out the speech objectives properly, and when you were evaluating, it was a motivating tone, so it was good. And you also gave the examples. Now, for Rajesh, I have one recommendation that since it was different timing from 5 to 7 minutes, it was 2 to 3 minutes. So you should have explained that before so that the timer could take a note of that too. And for the evaluation part, you gave the commendations and recommendations, but I didn't see that you followed the CRC approach. And also you forgot to summarize at the end too. But it was good that you gave examples too for Anshuman's speech where you liked the most and where you saw scope of improvement. Then for Nikita, who evaluated Surjit's speech, she followed the CRC approach and summarized at the end. She gave the examples too from his speech. Then for Rupinder sir evaluated Sonali's speech. You all asked the audience to turn on the video just like she asked in before. And it was an engaging evaluation. I saw you smiling, giving evaluation for the first time, and I so felt good. Yes, yeah, blushing. Okay, so that's all for the speaker's evaluation. And now I would like to evaluate the meeting as a whole, starting from the Sergeant at Arms. Meeting started well on time.
Tag team.
Okay, I would like to call my tag team first, starting with the grammarian Toastmaster Arunima Bindal.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. It was a good meeting overall. We did not have a very bad usages of word. Instead, we had good usages, and I'll start with that. Words like rendered, prominent, aspirational, allowed, delectable, captivating, grabbed, resonate. Moving on to the little bit wrong usages or the bad usages, I would say first recommendation is that whenever we have Hindi words, I would encourage everybody to please provide the translations, because we do have foreign nationals with us who might not understand Rajma Chawal. So we could call it as kidney beans with rice, and aloo tikki can be referred as potato balls. Golgappe could be called as water balls. Paneer chawal can be cottage cheese with rice, because it's difficult for them to understand. And there were certain other words. If we could have provided translation, because I could see in the chat it was being asked by the guest Jim that what is rajma rice. I think he was not able to understand rajma chawal.
And the other usages were lard therapy. We can call it as stick therapy. It's not therapy, it's therapy. And sharp memory sharpens the memory. My personal opinion is no such. I don't have any personal opinion. And gained double, squared of what I lost. And the other such is around the country, can be called as across the country. That was stupid me. That was me being stupid. But we had some very good phrases like galaxy of stars is a full moon, scariest time in greatest pandemic. The word of the day was used once. I would encourage if we can have more usage for the word of the day by everyone. And one such thing that I would like to point is I remember when I joined this Turning Point Toastmaster, the grammarian was played by Toastmaster Anand, and he pointed out one such word that we called gesture, which is gestures. And this is my 10th meeting. I would hope that we do not call it gesture anymore and we call it gestures. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Madam Grammarian, for that brief report. And now I would like to call our counter of the day, Toastmaster Anant Katyayani. Distinguished Toastmaster Anant Katyayani.
Thank you, Madam Infectious Confectioner. As our counter, my role has been to keep a track of your Ahs so well, but actually basically like unnecessary repeats, pauses, etc., etc. So here is my report, starting with Sergeant at Arms Nikita, flawless. Unique, presiding officer. I will only highlight some of the excessive usages in the interest of time. So first of all, has been your favorite phrase, used around 4 times. You might want to have a variation in that. And so has been your favorite word, or the crutch word has been used more than 5 times. Nimit, presiding officer, Nimit, the Toastmaster of the day, you have been an most well-balanced or measured speaker of the day. Only 2 so's and a couple of dragged ends. Haritika, you have a very unique crutch word today. And that has been because of Rupinder. You are using the word sir, which we are not supposed to use here, more than 5 times. Other than that, you had a few repeats, more than 5, one okay as well. Anshuman, the prepared speaker number 1, only 3 likes. Surjit, only 4 or 5 repeats, self-corrections. Sonali, flawless. Evaluators, Rajesh, you had 4 times means and twice so's and a few self-corrections as well. Nikita, you might want to take a break. In one single breath, try speaking a shorter sentence so that unnecessarily cramming up 3 to 4 parts of sentences ends up with an at the end because you run out of breath. So you might want to slow down a little, maybe 80% of your usual pace, and take shorter sentences. Rupinder, only 2 you-knows and 2 hours while reading out the objectives. Table topic speakers, in the interest of time, I will only highlight the ones having higher usages of crutch words. Gaurav, 3 hours, 2 times very, and 4 times self-corrections. Madhav, how I, this gets you stuck. So avoid that. Otherwise, you won't have any other repeats. Victor, Shekhar, and Geeta Kashyap, you were the most flawless table topic speakers of the day. Nasir, you had 3 means and 4 times hours, and that's it. Last but not the least, the speaker before me, grammarian, you had just 1 repeat on the word delectable. Other than that, you are flawless as well. That has been my brief report. Reach out to me if you want to know your personal count. Over to you, Madam Infectious Confectioner.
Thank you, our counter, for that crisp report. And now I would like to call timer.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Today, mostly we all played in the yellow zone, a few of them in the green zone, and quite acceptable amount of red zone. Our Toastmaster of the day, with all that, all those ingredients, he wrapped it up in about 14 minutes and 26 seconds, which was a good job. Our table topics master, he managed to incorporate about 10 table topics in 27 minutes, which was again an excellent work done. We had our encounter and grammarians report, which was well around the time limit. Talking about our table topic speakers, it is really very heartening to see that all the table topic speakers did speak for the minimum time required. Our evaluators too had an excellent job done. All those meaty and very, very, very delicious evaluations were wrapped up within the time limit, and evaluators were extremely mindful about the time when they were reading out the objectives as well. Our Madam General Evaluator till now has taken 6 minutes and 58 seconds, which is a good enough job done, considering that she also evaluated 10 table topics within this time, apart from 3 evaluations, and of course, introducing everybody respectively, including the filler word, sir. Thank you so much. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, timer. Toastmaster Gayatri. Now may I request Tech Master to release the ballots for the tag team. And now, as per our dear presiding officer's request, we can have a selfie. So may I request you all to turn on your cameras. Rupinder sir, can you please take one? Please.
Sir is not allowed. I'm going to start charging you.
Okay.
Everybody say butter chicken.
Butter chicken.
Or you could say chili paneer. Oh, hang on. And Shuman will remain behind the wheel until
Thank you, sir. Okay, no, sir. Now I would evaluate the meeting as a whole, starting with the Sergeant Arms. Meeting started well on time. Club mission was read properly, and then she invited the presiding officer on high energy. Then presiding officer congratulated members for their accomplishments, and during starting, I was thinking that he might go over time, but then he managed to complete that within time. Then guests were recognized properly. Toastmaster of the day was introduced enthusiastically. Theme was chosen well. Meetings roles were explained. Speakers were introduced properly along with their evaluators, aligning with the theme of the day, and that was a good point today. He asked for the polls for the best speakers. Then I already evaluated table topic master, and now evaluating my tag team. Grammarian, she made sure that everyone is able to see the word of the day in the chat section, but she sent it between when the speaker was speaking, which could have been avoided. Also today in the the chat section was flooded with so many messages when the speaker was on the stage, which could be avoided. And as always, at our counter, he gave us a crisp report, and the timer also gave us a crisp report for the day. And that's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Haritika. After ringing your taste buds, satiating you all with so much of delicious foods, I call them delicacies. You got it? Delicacies. And showing you the trails of importance and history of such food of Delhi. And also smelling something delicious cooking at my own kitchen now, I would like to take your leave, but not before I invite back the general manager, come the head chef of the TPTM restaurant, who used to like tawa chop in Govindpuri, but now feels he is above food. You know, he wishes that his body could function without food. But why? Well, in my opinion, it is because he is a true epitome of leadership who rather prefers to serve others. So, can we have the president of this club, Toastmaster Unique? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nimit, for that wonderful session you conducted and ended the meeting on a high. And congratulations to all the role players. Now, before continuing, let's first have the votes for the best role players. Just a moment. The polls have been launched. So you have Toastmasters of the Day, Table Topic Master, and the General Evaluator. Please cast the vote for the best role player. The votes will close in next 5 seconds. Thank you everyone for voting. Now, again, a brilliant meeting conducted by all role players. But more than my opinion, the opinion matters of those who have joined us today. So I would like to take a round robin feedback from all the guests. So please do share any improvement areas for our club. Any way we can improve our meetings. So I will go round robin with all the guests. So let's start with Toastmaster Anisha Gupta. Toastmaster Anisha, if you could please share your feedback.
Well, in the feedback, I'm not going to share any recommendations because I am so full and so tempted, and I'm actually hungry by this time. I'm sure those who have turned off their cameras or those who have left the meeting have gone to satiate their hunger birds, which have been triggered by the Toastmaster of the Day Nimit. I actually came here for the food trail and courtesy Rupinder's WhatsApp status. So and enjoy my time here. So it was good. I had this temptation to post on the chat box while this meeting was going on. So I'm not sure if that was allowed, that was supposed to happen or not supposed to happen. But I think General Evaluator pointed this out. So I will keep that in mind because actually this was very strong humor going throughout the meeting, and I really wanted to like comment on the humor. But yeah, thank you for having me here. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anisha, for your feedback, and glad you enjoyed the meeting. Next, I would like to get to our guest, Jim. Jim Van, could you please share your feedback for the meeting?
Yes, it's a very, very lively meeting. And one of the things that we look for in a Toastmasters meeting is something special, like the theme that you had today about food. So that provides a lot of variety, and it makes it all the more worthwhile attending the meeting and the special table topics, which was also on theme. Everything was on theme. So very well done there. And I notice, I don't know if they're members or members of this or also guests, but many people had a really enrolling manner about them. For example, the table topic master was very encouraging, and the R counter. I mean, look at him now; he's smiling, he's encouraging people to just carry on talking, and Haritika and Nimit. So everything together, a very special meeting, a very special club. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your commendations, Jim, and we are glad you liked it. The club makes an effort to encourage all the new and even the veteran speakers so that everybody could perform at their best. Next, I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Shekhar Gupta. Toastmaster Shekhar, if you could please share your feedback.
Thank you, Unique. Again, it's a great pleasure to be here. Honestly, I'm on fast today, but going through these food varieties actually made me go crazy. And I think, and the topic that was given to me about perfect dining, another, I think a big knife on my stomach, hungry stomach. I think that I'll have something now, maybe a glass of milk at least to settle down my appetite. I think it's always wonderful when I come to this club's meetings, and I really see that encouragement, that commitment from each and every role player. I really like the quality of reports that are delivered at the end, be it the accounter, be it the grammarian, and I think we try to copy it in our clubs or in other meetings that we conduct. I think you are setting up good benchmark and standards for other clubs to follow. Thank you for having me. Back to you, Unique.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shekhar, for that encouraging feedback, and I hope you enjoyed the meeting in spite of your fast. But meanwhile, I have also shared a few details on the chat box regarding the contact person if you want to inquire any further, and as well as links for our social media accounts and the YouTube link for today's meeting. We went live on YouTube, so you can check it out later also. Also, there is a WhatsApp guest group link, so you can join via that link to follow the updates regarding TPTM. Next, I would like to get to our guest Toastmaster Geeta. Toastmaster Geeta Kashyap, if you could please share your feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was really very, very, very sumptuous meeting, a very tasty and delicious meeting. Enjoyed it thoroughly. And the fact can be portrayed here when I'm right now in Dubai. And I could not join right in the beginning because of that, still to adjust with the time zone. In the beginning, I missed one or two speakers, but whatever I attended, whatever I really enjoyed totally, thoroughly. Thank you so much. Love your meeting. Very, very lively meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta, and it's always a pleasure to have you around. So with that, I think we have received all the feedback from the guests. So now I would like to come to the concluding section, that is the poll results. So just give me a minute. Are you able to see my screen, correct screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So starting with the table topics. So today we did not have a second runner-up. There were two first runner-ups. There was a tie. So we had two first runner-ups. There are no second runner-ups today. So the first runner-up is Toastmaster Geeta Kashyap. Congratulations. This is a time when all of us unmute and give a huge round of applause to our winner. So you can all unmute and clap. And the second first runner-up is Toastmaster Jim Van.
Jim won.
I think Jim has joined us for the first time, but nonetheless, he's the first runner-up. Congratulations, Jim. And the winner today, though he left the meeting after his table topic, but he made a huge impact. Congratulations to Toastmaster Victor Jenkins. Now, moving on to the next one. The best auxiliary role player for today. This is again a tie. So first best auxiliary role player is Toastmaster Anant Katyani. Let's have a huge round of applause for him. As always, playing his role to perfection. And the second winner of the auxiliary role player, again, did her job with minimum fuss and maximum effectiveness. Congratulations to Toastmaster Gayatri Deshmukh. Now, the best for today. I think this was a very well executed meeting, and kudos to all the role players who strung it together pretty well. But there is only one winner today, and that is Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Neef Mittal, for his wonderful session on food and uh, some people's favorite topic also. Now, let's move to the best evaluator for today. We have three speakers, hence the three evaluators. And the best speech evaluator for today goes to Toastmaster Rupinder, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. And who wins the best speaker? Well, best speaker is the one who was evaluated by the best evaluator today. So a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Sonali Katuria. So that is all from the award side. And now I would like to take this meeting to the end. But before that, again, as I mentioned in the starting session, that we are planning to make a separate club out of Sunday turning point on Sundays. So we require your all. This is like the last step towards that. So we require a full, like a push from all of the club for that, so that we can accomplish this sooner rather than later. And with that, I welcome you to join the Sunday meetings as well. We meet every Sunday. We start at 1:15. You can join there as well. And Thursday, like today, we always start the meeting at 6:45. You can join in for the next session as well. And with that, I would like to take leave from firstly from the YouTube audience. So I would be